Conasatasiu. Lucas is an dum. Is Alban at May. Tommy Mahoney in Aaron Fiha Adol Blian. Now, I'm not a Gaelgore, so I'll revert back to English now. Hi, my name's Luke. I'm not Irish, I'm actually from Scotland originally, but I've been living here 22 years and it's become my home and I feel very much at home here. And this country has a strange way of, I don't know, if you know Star Trek, the Borg assimilates things, and Ireland is kind of like that. If you make any effort to become part of it, it kind of just draws you into it. So Enda asked me to talk about wisdom, and this being the day that it is, well actually it's technically 4 o'clock in the morning is the solstice, but we're close enough. It's in Irish it's Greenstad and Sour, which literally means the sun standing of summer. Everybody knows that this is a very special place in Irish culture, Irish history, and this wasn't actually the seat of the Druids, this was the seat of the High Kings. But the Druids would have come here at this time and they would have played an important role as well. So the gathering of all the tribes at these events, these astronomical and agricultural times in the year, this was a very important one, and it's still very much in people's consciousness today. So, a lot of this has been forgotten, but so much of it is coming back into people's consciousness again. Somebody earlier, I think it was Dolores Whelan, mentioned 3 and 3 times 3, and that's very much a unique thing in Irish culture. Like, we invoke the elements, but in Ireland we actually have 9 elements, and we would invoke these 3 realms of the sky, the spirit of the sea, Farrager, and the land, and Tullov. And that is something that's beginning to come back, this deeper connection beyond the shite that we are just expected to lap up on an almost daily basis, and a different kind of sacredness, something that has real meaning when people speak truth instead of hyperbole and bullshit. We all know what we can expect from Doyle Aaron and from a lot of the media. In a lot of cases, truth doesn't even get a foot in the door. So I'm going to give you some triads from the ancient wisdom. They were in Irish. A guy called Kuno Maya translated them into English about 120 years ago. But first of all, before I did that, I wanted to do a very brief invocation to the sun, just to mark the day that's in it, it being the summer solstice. Behold the great eye of the gods, the eye of the gods of life, the eye of the Queen of Hosts, the eye of the King of the living. Light pouring upon us at this time and at every season. Light pouring upon us with warmth and generosity. Glory to thee, O glorious Son, glory to thee, the face of the gods of life. Okay, so you'll find if you look back into especially the pre-Christian Gaelic culture, there's an awful lot of talk about truth. Truth was really held in high esteem, pretty much above everything, really. So, 3 things that ruin wisdom: ignorance, inaccurate knowledge, forgetfulness. And how quickly do we forget? We live in this age where everything's so immediate, more info. It's very easy to make people forget things that they really shouldn't. 3 things that justice demands: judgment, measure, and conscience. Conscience is something that's been very sadly lacking in a lot of people that have positions of power. And maybe it's time we put people in power who actually have a conscience. 3 things from which one should never be moved: one's oath, one's God's, and the truth. And the most important of these is truth. Three reasons for speaking: come what may. For instruction against ignorance, counsel against strife, and truth against harmful falsehood. And that's a really powerful one for me, because it says come what may. That means even if it's going to cost you, which we know in these times that people that speak out sometimes pay a very heavy price. That Julian Assange is still rotting in prison. Edward Snowden is hiding out in Russia. And what crimes did they actually do? They actually told people the truth. And they're paying for it. And there's countless people in history who've been knocked off for telling the truth. So I think if we're going to get anywhere in life collectively, we have to be prepared to face that we will be punished maybe for standing up for truth. But if everybody stands up together, united, they can't kill us all. They can't put all of us in jail. In fact, if we took our power back, are far stronger than they are. And they know that. That's why they don't want any of us to wake up. Okay, one last triad and then I'm going to leave you. 3 roots of every evil: covetousness, falsehood, and arrogance. And Enda mentioned about love. You know, these qualities I mentioned, there's no love there. And these are the qualities that we want to leave behind if we're going to evolve into a better human. We don't need to become transhuman. We just need to learn how to treat each other with respect and love, and treat this planet with the same respect. Thank you for listening. Sinead.